Hey guys, it's Will. So the S&P 500 recently topped out at all-time highs and we saw big moves happen today. We got some big sell-offs in the data center market. Photonics market was selling off. And the first thing we see, SPY recently reaching all-time highs shortly after you get the pull down, and then Fed decision coming out tomorrow, and we potentially could see a rate hike. And then you also got Broadcom's guidance that recently, was not so hot, and that was last week, which really drove the market down. And so now we got this 12-hour, 13-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour articles coming out. Even the White House is actually sending messages. You see even Trump tweeting about it or talking about it, that we better not have a rate hike or whatever. But the reality is in this moment where we see, I was just driving back from Mammoth in the mountains, going through the lakes and driving. I was going on a fishing trip with my dad recently, and yesterday we were driving through the mountains. The diesel was $8.89 per gallon, just absolutely insane. And then the economists say, when you look at some of the Reuters articles here, that inflation persisting above 4%. Key rate remains at 3.5 to 3.75%, and there's a 70% expect no rate cuts this year. So actually potentially looking at very ill timing potentially for SpaceX IPO, where you have correction from SPY, and then you have SpaceX IPO happening right after Fed rate decision, which if a rate hike were to take place, that would be a pretty big deal. But these are all things that most likely won't be as bad as people think. And while they say that, the facts are obviously that we do see inflation higher, that we do see SPY at an all-time high, and the facts are that some of the guidance was lower on top companies like Broadcom, there's one fact that is very true as well, which is the number one thing that is super clear is that companies that are driving the market right now are seeing really great financials. What does really great financials mean? Well, one of the things that has allowed us to make well over 100%, in fact, over 10x on this stock, specifically APLD, as we started covering it back around $5 to $7 a share, and it sold down to already down to $3 and then recovered all the way to $50 a share as of yesterday, is that they have these financials that seem to follow all of their financial reports, seem to follow their news. And so what news have we recently seen? Well, Keel is one, you've got TSSI, you've got AAOI, you got Oracle as well, where they've come in with pretty good earnings, pretty good revenues. And the thing is that what happens is that these aren't just big so-called moments where a big heroic thing happens and they just report and surprise with these massive financials. You see, with APLD, for example, we were watching back, June 2025, they had this 15-year deal with CoreWeave for $7 billion. That was increased to $11 billion. Shortly after, they added some more deals. Some of their recent AI factories, this was one of their recent $7.5 billion that then increased their total contracted lease revenue to $23 billion. Shortly after that, they then just came in with a deal yesterday, or was it today? Yeah, it was today actually. It's been a long day. Or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. That they came in with this deal for a $12.7 billion approximate contracted revenue, which now increases their current portfolio of AI factory campuses with $36 billion in contracted revenue. Now, the time spans on most of those are around 15 years. But the point is that when you're looking at this $36 billion, when we've seen these articles come out, and we've seen this is directly from the source once again, and they've partnered with these hyperscaler companies, and they're getting these AI factories built. They're constructing them. They're getting the connections with the liquid cooling. They're building them in places like North Dakota where it's really cold and it's super efficient for them to build in those locations. They're even bringing down some of the rates for electricity in the area, not negatively impacting the local areas. And they're doing it in a way that seems to be where they haven't had these stoppages or these times where they haven't been able to construct because of weather. That was a big one over with Texas. I remember there was huge flooding happening, and a lot of people or a lot of companies weren't able to construct their data centers. They haven't had any of those big slowdowns. They've been able to continually build. And they've also been very selective about the companies that they decide to lease out their data centers to. Not in a big rush, but we were saying a while ago, hey, let's just see them deliver on their current contracts. If they get more, great. But even where they're at now, when they were at, $40 a share or $30 a share, and they had just 23 billion, this was literally last month, we were saying they're still looking undervalued. Now they come in at $36 billion across their AI campuses, and their financials continue to improve. I was just using Prophecy. This is something that's allowed me to be able to monitor all my different positions. In the last 2 quarters, we've had over 10 positions, in fact, 12 stocks, that have gone up over 100% in concentrated markets like data centers, AI infrastructure, space tech, quantum computing, semiconductors, drone tech, and AI defense, and even some energy stocks as well, where we've been focusing on a lot of different stocks. And in order to keep up with them, we've been using AI, and that's why we developed Prophecy here. Prophecy is one of the top platforms in the world for using all of the best AIs in the world, and that's actually what our goal was to be able to search up any stock like APLD, get the best AI models in the world to all give us projections on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the 1 day. Currently, Claude is as accurate as 60% in its direction accuracy when projecting stocks. And so we're using Claude right now, and ChatGPT, we're actually using all the AI models. We got it on AI max mode right now. But my point is that when we've seen this big surge, and why we're using Prophecy, and if you guys want to use it, third link below, is because the reason why there's so much momentum is because there's this financial build up. You can look at the financials starting to build up here, and we could see that develop. That the contracts and the news comes out, and then shortly after, when the earnings come out, these financials are looking so much better. And so you can see that definitely in the new revenue from the company, and that it almost always is actually following the reports in their news. So my point is, again, as they come out here with this big news of now $36 billion across 5 AI factory campuses, and their market cap is still sitting right now at 11.9 billion. I know it's up there because we started covering it around $1 billion market cap. So it is up there to $12 billion now. But the point is that if they are currently, did they just sign another 5.2 billion one today? Is that just today? Did they sign another deal? Seems like they just signed yet another one, or maybe that was from yesterday. But just 36 billion across all the data centers they're building, and their market cap sits at 12 billion. If they're going to see their revenue continue to ramp up as it has been ramping up quite drastically from just 50 million in 2025 in February to then, getting up to, by the end of the year, 160 million in the quarter. And then they've been having now 126 million, and they got their up and coming earnings here, with their assets now surging as well to over 2.5 billion in equity, and assets are up to 6.25 billion. So assets are up there, revenue over 100 million per quarter, plus they got this $12 billion market cap while their backlog sits above 36 billion. It's funny, not long ago, we were just doing a video on this. The facts were that as their pipeline was sitting here at about, 3.5? See, 3.5 active pipeline of utility power. We said, right now it seems that they have the capacity to potentially have a backlog of as high as about 50 to 70 billion dollars in backlog for their data centers. And so shortly after that, we saw them jump. I remember just not long ago, they were, under 10 billion. Now they're up to $36 billion in contracted revenue. But the reality is again, they still have about 50 to 70 billion potentially in contracted revenue. So I say that because when we're looking at, how many of you guys have seen that some data center companies, they're getting a lot of momentum. A lot of people are talking about them. Their market cap might be going up, but they haven't really seen the contracts, or people are just kind of anticipating that they're going to go up. That's been happening on quite a few stocks. And some of them, they're going to be in a position where they will get contracts. I think a good example of that, and I say will, but most likely will, is like Keel, for example, KEEL. We've been covering them for since like $2 a share at one point. I think we started around $4 or $5. They dropped to 2. Now they're at 6 or something like that. And they haven't seen the contracts come in, but they have the revenue. And so when we look back at APLD and we kind of see these the moves where they're at right now, the difference is that we've seen the contracts already be right in front of us. We can actually see the articles, and the earnings oftentimes are showing reflections of that exact thing, the news that we're getting. And so it's almost like we're getting the answer to how much revenue they're expecting, and they haven't even reported earnings yet. And they've added like $20+ billion in the last quarter in contracted revenue, that we're most likely going to see a windfall of this. We're going to see some of this revenue show up in the earnings very soon, in the income statement, given that as they've continued to hold integrity up to this point, and that their revenue has reflected their contracts that they get, which we've seen, that will just continue to be the case, and that the financials will reflect the same as they have, that they will continue to show and reflect all of these articles that we're seeing. So basically, article comes out, we see the value. Shortly after, earnings comes out. Earnings surprise a lot of Wall Street, but we were just simply paying attention, and that's why we're able to capitalize on now what's been over a 10x opportunity here for APLD. So as we see them pull back from $50 a share, as an investor or trader, if there is one thing I noticed with Warren Buffett talking about the long term, we're actually holding this company. We never ever plan to sell this company. So while we trade it, and we like to trade APLX, and we do the 2X. I was just on the phone with the CIO today of Defiance ETFs. I got to talk with them about the upcoming SpaceX IPO. And we were talking about how it's important to have those 2X instruments to trade the short-term opportunities if they do present themselves. And we will do that if we see that with APLD for sure. I mean, if we see the opportunity where we get this double bottom here at $37 that we've seen them bounce over the last week, they dipped down big here after a big market rally this morning, then they kind of surged or dropped down here to $38. If we're looking at that potential recovery here, back up into levels we just saw back here in May. So if they were to find that support around that $35 level or $40 level really, and continue back up into that $48 to $50 range, it's a 20% margin for profit to that previous resistance at $50. That's a 40% margin for profit over on APLX. So as an investor, in the long term, of course, I just continue to hold. I've held this stock through ups and downs. I've held it up to 42 and back down here to 18. And I'll continue to hold it long term. But I will say that for the people that are looking at it short term, and you're just wanting to make a quick cash on something like this, if you do end up holding it, again, SPY, imagine SPY corrects down, IPO doesn't go as expected. If those things happen, are you willing to hold it down 25, 30, 40% sell down? Because if you're not, then you want to have clear risk management, and you're looking for a trade. And that's totally fine. We trade this stock as well, but we also hold it long term, and we never touch that. When we trade it short term, there's a structured approach that we have that, again, it wouldn't have been possible to execute without a structured plan. And that's why I use Prophecy, because I can get projections on the 1 hour and the 4 hour and the 1 day. And you can see even some of the projections into tomorrow, some negative projections. But we do have that nearest support level at 41.50. We'll see if that holds into tomorrow as we get into the longer term timeframes up into the next week. And we are seeing some bullish projections from the most accurate model like Claude, for example. We are seeing that bullish projection. These models use all of the real-time and best financial data in the world that we're able to plug into them. And we found that the shorter term timeframes are more accurate than longer term timeframes within the 1 year, the highest accuracy timeframes are between 1 hour and 1 day. And you do have some negative projections into tomorrow. We might see some dips. It looks like big dips into tomorrow, and it could be extended. But if we do see recoveries into that next day towards the end of the week, building up to that SpaceX IPO, which again, I would love to dive deeper on with you all. I do think that's a company that is going to surprise, and we're going to have a lot more anticipation into the next week after that Friday session than we probably have ever seen in the space tech market. So very looking forward to that. But just one thing to consider, you do have that possibility, Fed rate cut, sell down. So if you're looking to short-term trade, you have that possibility for that sell down. But what we're looking for is that continuation. Of course, we'd like to expect, as financials look really good for these companies, that they continue to build the momentum. You know, we've seen it with AMD. AMD had really good financials and continued to sell down and continued to sell down. How much more can it sell down when it has good financials, until it found that bottom at 75 and then just rallied to now what is 472. You know, you see that time and time again. And so just something to watch out for, especially in the data center market or the semiconductor market. We might have great financials and we still might see the stock sell down. It's always a possibility. But with that being said, you know, everything in mind, we will see if an opportunity presents itself here at market open tomorrow morning at that $40 support level. If you would like to tune on in to our daily live trading sessions, we'll be there at market open tomorrow morning. Or you just like to learn with like-minded investors and traders, we'd love to see you there. It's the second link in the description below. And you do get a free t-shirt when you join. That's a StockMate t-shirt. Get your structured short-term trading more dialed along with your long-term frontier investing in space tech, data center markets, semiconductor markets, you know, all the top quantum markets, then I would encourage you to have a look at the first link below and we can see if we can work together. Thanks so much for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.